1 Corinthians 13:4-7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This passage further continues on this idea that what love is and does. It says that love is patient, kind, does not envy, does not boast, not proud, does not dishonor others, does not self-seeking, not easily angered, does not keep record of wrong, does not delight in evil, and rejoices with the truth. And these really comes to us as no surprise. I mean, we truly believe that love does all these things and then some. I don't believe this list was supposed to be an exhaustive list of what love is and does, but a really good working list of what real love, what true love looks like. But the problem we face is that we don't see this list being fulfilled all the time. Even though this isn't the full list, we still have a hard time meeting even this list. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of sermon about this passage if you've been to weddings and use those verses a lot. But there is one aspect that isn't talked about often we're going to address today. And the idea is that love protects. The Greek word for protect is staigai, which literally means to cover. It includes the idea of protecting and preserving. The word protect here is overlooked because there are other fancier or maybe more meaningful word that is associated. But the word protect is important because it links to the trust, hope, and perseverance together. It's the idea that love will protect the trust, it will protect the hope, and will protect the perseverance. Because God's type of love protects. That is, it watches out for others. It withstands difficulty. And if there is a shortcoming or fault in the loved one, love has the ability to cover it. Love is not based on selfish desire or even mutual benefit. It's not trying to see if the cost is going to outweigh the benefit. Rather, it seeks simply to benefit other people. Love aims to give, to protect, rather than receive. There's a time where I was driving down I-5, and this is pretty... It wasn't too far after I got married with my wife, Susie, and we're driving down I-5, and the car above, ahead of us, they slam on the brake, and which made me slam on the brake as well. But my hand automatically went to Susie's side to cover. And honestly, I wasn't thinking about, man, this is gonna be really bad if her body weight thrust into my arm and breaking my arm or anything like that. It just naturally went there because in my subconscious mind, I wanted to protect her. I wanted to make sure that she was going to be okay, and I wasn't counting the cost of my arm or my own safety. You see, love is kind of like that. That love that protects, God's love is kind of like that. And we see examples in Old Testament where God's protection of Israel was a sign of his love. God would look after his people in battles as well as their everyday life. Harm and disaster would be protected by God, and only when it was meant as a punishment, God would remove given protection. Psalm highlights a connection between God's love and his protection. Psalm 68:5 says, Father to the father, a defender of widows. Psalm 91:14 says, promise God's protection of those who love and trust him. So it's safe to say that God's love protects, whether seen or unseen, by our naked eyes. And if we believe that God's love protects, what should be our response in the way that you and I love? How do we start practicing this forgotten practice of love that protects? When we talk about the love that protects, don't confuse this part. It doesn't mean that we excuse wrongdoing or seek to evade the natural consequences of sin. When someone commits a crime, hiding it from other people isn't the protection I'm talking about here. What I am talking about is we strengthen what is weak, shield what is vulnerable, forgive what is provoking. When you're intentionally giving love that protects, it means that you're looking at other people and your immediate thought goes to, how can I protect this person from spiritual, mental, physical harm? What are some actions that I can take will protect them so that they will continue to trust, hope, and persevere in love? I want you to think about the most painful time in your life. For every one of us out there, that time is represented differently because we all walk a different path in life. But didn't the most dramatic relief come when someone entered your situation with you and helped you carry your burden? This person literally protected you from further pain by carrying some of it away. Because of his or her love, your pain became less difficult to bear. Maybe some of the people are sitting near you right now, and maybe they're still doing their best to protect you, carry some of the burden with them. And let's take it a step further. Love not only protects us by reducing our pain, it protects us by enabling healing to begin once the pain is present. In other words, love protects us from getting an emotional wound fester with anger and resentment. It isn't always the case, but a hurt that is left untreated will grow into something bigger and something worse than when it gets the proper care that it needs. When we love people, we need to understand that you're not counting the gains that you receive, but the gains that the person you're showing love to will receive. If you're anything like me, you might want to see an example of what that love looks like. And that example really is found in Jesus Christ. And he protected us even when we didn't even know him. While we were sinners, while we were actively running away with our own selfish desires and wants, he continued to look after us, orchestrating situations that were good and bad in our point of view until the day that our eyes were opened to see the love that he gave us. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that you won't ever have an issue in your life. That isn't realistic. But know that God will continue to demonstrate that love that protects you. Because sometimes we get so hung up on the idea that God doesn't protect us from all troubles in life, that he must not love us. And in response to that, we stop showing love to others. But that isn't the reality at all, my brothers and sisters. God is love, and his love will always protect, because his love is what promotes patience, kindness, doesn't envy, doesn't boast, isn't proud, doesn't dishonor, not self-seeking, not easily angered, doesn't keep record of wrongdoing, doesn't delight in evil, and it continues to protect the trust, hope, and perseverance. And we are called to do the same with the relationship that God placed us into. Not by our own strength, because if you're simply doing it out of the goodness of your heart, you will fail. And this is where you need to start understanding that you need to lean into God a little bit more, so that the love that he is will rub off on you. As a growing Christian, my prayer is that we strive to demonstrate the love that protects in our lives.